Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing this morning? Welcome. It is Friday. In case you don't know, it's my brother's birthday, so I want to give a big shout out to my brother, Scott Meltzer, the unbelievable rabbi, husband, father, and brother, son, community member, state leader, country leader, and even world leader. That's my boy, the incredible Scott Meltzer. Happy birthday. I love you. May all your wishes come true. And may you be allowed to have as many wishes as you want. The ultimate wish. Welcome, everybody. And it's going to be a great day. Jakey Bakey. Hope you're feeling better, my friend. Remember, not every day is a perfect day. For everyone out there, just get back to center. It's how quickly we get back to center. It's the moments, not minutes, hours, days, or weeks that we stay in ego-based consciousness. The moments that we do that will make the difference in our lives. Hi from Brazil, Fabio. Nice to see you. Welcome, everyone. Just so excited to be here. Let's go ahead and give me some questions for the day. Let's get this thing started. There we go. Thank you, everyone. Don't forget to do that. Let's see here. Do you do morning affirmations? Yes, I meditate every morning. I find my highest frequency, and from that, it's a baseline for my day. So I go ahead and use that in order to effectuate my day. I have many mantras. Gratitude's one of them, just to say thank you. And then I have I am mantras. I am health. I am wealth. I am happiness. I am forgiveness. I am accountability. I am inspiration. I am connected to everyone and everything. I want all my relationships to thrive, and I want everyone to be happy. Great things to talk about when we have our mantras. Let's go see what other questions we have. I pinned the number for today. As you know, we have training on Friday. That is today, 11 a.m. Pacific time. That is in 3 hours. Go ahead and text me if you haven't to register, or go ahead and email me at david@dmeltzer.com. Also, thank you, all of you who have offered to help. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And all of you looking for mentorship and help yourselves, thank you for reaching out. Getting to you all one at a time. Hello, Matthew. How are you? Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Let's get to a question real quick. Thank you. Keep them coming, by the way. I'm a graduate lawyer and would love to get into sports entertainment law. How do I best become an expert in that field? So, look, it's all crawl before you walk, before you run. Enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of your potential. Be more interested than interesting. Find the skills, the knowledge, and keep and maintain the desire to be what you must be in whatever industry that you want. Seek help. Go ahead, reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to help you. I know Bruce Tollner is doing a career in sports webinar at iywebinars.com. I'm helping out with Innovate University with how to start your career in sports. Can we buy stocks at this COVID situation because that they are low? Hey, Jay, sorry. Look, it depends on your timing and risk tolerance. I would seek an expert in the field, the industry, and ask them one simple question. Is this stock oversold? If it is, buy it. That's the advice that I give, depending on your time and tolerance. Let's see here. How do you deal with family members who are nervous or scared? Great question. If anyone that you love, care about, or are around is nervous or scared, let's tell them and teach them the 4 things that they can be certain about. Right? Uncertainty is what's causing the fear. So if we can tell them, look, you have control of your mindset, you have control of your feelings, you have control of what you say, but also what you hear, and you have control about what you do. So let's focus in on taking control of the things that we have control of, and you will feel better. Furthermore, if you feel anxious, fearful, separate, inferior, superior, guilty, offended, resentful, any of the ego-based emotions, you feel hopeless, depressed, go do something for someone else. If you can't get a hold of the mindset, you can't get a hold of your feelings, you can't say and hear the right things, then do the right thing, which is go find somebody to help. Hello, my friends from Family Addiction Specialists. How are you? I hope all is well. I know many people need help right now, and we're here. And if we can't help you, we'll find someone that can. Thank you, everyone, for the wise wishes to my brother. Very good. Let's see here. What are we looking at? Going live soon, I think. And Brian Shear on there. I thought maybe I saw him. If he is, hello, Vicky. Hi, everybody. Let's go back to a question real quick. And is Marcia Kilgore? I see that. Is it a good time to start a business? I think so. I think so. It is a good time to start a business. And I think here now, taking inventory on what you need to start that business, go ahead, look at your capabilities, synergistic and supplementary to what you want and what you want to do, and can start a business right now. When things have slowed down, it's always a good time to start a business. More people are millionaires are made during the Depression. Hi, Marcia.
Hey, how are you, David?
I'm terrific. How are
How are you
you?
holding up? Do you know what day it is?
I do, only because I do a training on Fridays, but it's a vacuum in my closet here. And I have a multi-purpose closet now. I've been blessed with a beautiful home with, 5 children living with me right now and my wife. But I have made my closet into an office, a guest room, a studio,
That's
and a
quite
closet.
funny because you know where I'm calling from? My
Where's that?
closet. My
Yeah.
closet.
We're the first two people. We're the first two people that will be famous for coming into the closet.
Yes,
So
we're going into the closet. It's actually not bad in here, and there are no kids playing video games or, no one eavesdropping and correcting you, as
it's so.
teenagers will do.
Oh my gosh, I love teenagers. It's amazing. Everything my mom told me when I was a teenager that I would say as a parent, I say. So that's my favorite part about being a parent.
It's true, we do morph into them, right? And it's
Yeah.
okay. It's
Yeah.
good to
Well,
remember all of that good advice.
introduce yourself to everyone.
Yes, it's true. I'm Marcia Kilgore. I am the founder of Bliss Spa, so everybody would probably remember that one, especially in America. I also started a footwear brand called FitFlop, which is FITFLOP, not FLIPFLOP. And my most recent startup is Beauty Pie, which is a buyer's club for luxury beauty addicts.
And it's interesting right now because people have to stay at home, but I have 3 daughters and a wife, and their beauty concerns are still at an all-time high because
Ah,
people want to feel good about themselves.
yeah,
Uh,
you know what? I think grooming has always been a part of human nature, right? We dress up and we groom, and you were a L'Oreal model.
that's right. Most people
I
don't know that.
mean, yeah, well, we talked about that once, and I remember, and it's just so obvious to me, and it's just something I think that in order to just feel human, it's part of our sort of natural desire is to look better and to just take care of ourselves a little bit, and it's something that certainly is not going to stop just because we're all stuck inside our houses. I know a lot of people would say, "Oh, women put on makeup to look better for others," but in fact, I think we all put on makeup to look better for ourselves and use skincare and use, relaxing products and everything like that.
Which is why more men today, male vanity has become a huge business, which is why
Yeah,
L'Oreal wanted me to be a model, obviously. Anyway,
obviously.
um,
You're
but
aspirational. You've got
thank
that
you.
look.
Thank you. Well, at least I hope to have a happy look to help inspire others to be happy.
Yeah.
What you've been a mentor to so many. Every company that you have started and have worked for now, you're just a success after a success. There has to be a formula because in the varied successes you've had, you've been through a lot of crises, a lot of
Sure.
changes, a lot of
Yeah.
uncertain times, and I would love to. Reason I wanted to have you on too is love to get your feedback from the closet, like me, on certain things that you're taking inventory right now of. I'm. It's like forced meditation. I tell people this is amazing because I've been telling people for years the best thing I did was slow down at least once a day and take
Yeah.
inventory. I just
Yeah.
call it meditation for me, but this is like a forced meditation for people. What are the things you're doing to take inventory and to raise your awareness?
I think when you're doing business in a time like this, and this is actually my third crisis, I would say, I guess third or fourth. There was sort of the crisis of was it 1988 or 89? Then there was
Don't age ourselves.
2000. Yeah, sorry. No, was there? Then there was 2001,
Yeah.
obviously, September 11th. Then there was 2008, the great financial crisis, and now, so this is really four right? And my first one, I was a teenager living in New York and just operating on a personal trainer's income, which was, it was a job, you know, those first gig cultures. I was probably part of the first gig culture in New York City when people would pay you $20 to lead them through an hour of personal training.
Yeah.
And when the financial crisis came, then a lot of people just stopped doing that. So you had to just learn to survive on what really mattered. And I think that doing that really makes you stronger because you think about what do you really need? And in a business, if you're running a larger business, you also think, you know, what really needs to be done here? And how do you connect with your customers to be authentic, but not in the authentic way where you're making it up, but really thinking, how do you touch their hearts, right? And be true and let them know possibly a little bit of what you're going through. You know, I've got a footwear business, FitFlop. Obviously, all of the retailers have shut down right now. We're sitting on a massive load of inventory. It's beautiful. You know, the shoes are incredible,
Yeah.
but we need to sell them. And when all your retailers have shut down, that's really tough for your cash flow. So then you think about, well, how do you communicate this to your customers at a time like this when they're not even going outside and wearing shoes at the
Yeah.
moment?
Let alone
And
the
so,
food.
yeah, so you have to think, well, what is a woman thinking about shoes right now? What is a man thinking about shoes? And, you know, shoes are a real treat for women, just like beauty products, right? Our
Yeah.
little, the pink box of Beauty Pie. Yeah.
Oh.
It's something they need just to sort of lift their spirits. And if you're in a position where you can, and you're in that lucky position where you can still shop, you just think, well, how can you position a shoe right now to somebody who's actually in lockdown? And it makes you more creative. It makes you more honest. It makes you sell what you would buy yourself, right? And that's actually one of my sort of mantras for businesses. Don't sell it if you wouldn't buy it, especially for the same price that you're selling it for. And if
Yeah.
you'd buy it, then lots of other people will buy it too for that price. But if you wouldn't, you know, how do you feel honest about selling something? So I really make brands that are what I would want to buy, and it makes it really easy for me to build businesses that way.
And there's so much ego in fashion and in beauty, as in sports and entertainment, right? I always
Yeah.
say that I blessed my mom because she had me study history, and so I could learn human nature, and learning
Yes.
human nature allowed me to be successful in these spaces. But you said two things that really resonate with me. One, what really matters, right? When we
Mm-hmm.
stop, like what really matters, and I see more and
Yeah.
more people. I'm blessed.
Come back.
Not
Sorry.
everybody knows I'm live because they call me during this, and I should be wise enough to have two phones. But
Oh.
uh, what really matters. And I've had a few takeaways because I pride myself on understanding ego-based consciousness. I've really matured over the last 13 years because I made money through ego, and then
Yeah.
13 years ago I dedicated my life to making money to help other people and have fun with it as well. But even now, here I am, the ultimate hypocrite, as always, learning what really matters. I am a much better father, a much better husband, I'm a much better business person.
Yeah.
I found just so much money that I've wasted out of ego sitting in
Yeah.
my closet. And even today, I was like, maybe I'll post a budget for April
And then stick to it.
yeah, and let people see it and say, look, I can afford whatever I want, but I am
Do
super
you?
happy on this budget because this
Yeah.
is what really matters. Like I eat at home every night. I eat leftovers for breakfast and lunch. You know, I'm very healthy. I work out more than I ever have, but I'm thinking about posting that because I think people have, you know, this misconception that, well, all these successful people, men and women like you and I, that
Yeah.
we must just have it simple because they're still so happy. No, the reason we're successful is because we're happy and we have that perspective. It's
I
not the money.
agree. Yeah, you can find happiness. I mean, you might have a really hard day. You go to sleep, you can find that happiness again in the morning. I
Yeah.
always find, you know, you just think, wow, this has been a really tough day. Lots of things thrown at you. What did you learn from it? And let me just like shut down for 8 hours or 7 hours or whatever sleep is that you need, and then wake up the next day and you get to start over again. And it's all just like you say, you can choose if you're happy. You can choose how you look at the day that's ahead of you or what's happening to you at the moment. And yeah, sometimes it's really, really rough, but well, we're so lucky just to have a roof over our heads at the moment, right? And just, you know, to be able to have 3 meals a day and
Yeah.
to be able to go out and look for people to help. And
And to
that's
be
just such
healthy,
a gift.
just to
Yeah,
be
to be
healthy.
healthy. Yeah, it's
Right.
really everything. So I think this is, as you said, it's an opportunity to kind of slow down and think about what really matters and reassess that. And I don't think anybody will come out of this crisis not changed for the better, because we will all really know what's important to us.
I know
So
you're so humble. I was hoping I could ask you this question and hopefully you'll answer it. But on the ego-based side, what is one of the lessons that you've learned just to illuminate, your own humanness of, did you find, has there been a lesson for you in ego that, gosh, I still have some work to do? Is there
uh,
one that you can share with
every,
us?
every day.
Me too.
Every day, that you have to, you have to realize when you're maybe not as high level or as on a vibration that's as high as you would want to be. I think where I've really learned is when I jump to conclusions about perhaps what other people are doing and thinking that they're doing things for maybe a reason that's negative, when I just haven't got all the information to connect the dots properly and realize that in fact what they're doing maybe isn't negative. And I've had a few situations like that. Actually, it was so painful for me and embarrassing when I jumped to a conclusion that somebody else was, maybe, being more negative than they really were, because I wasn't informed. That I learned that lesson. I think it wasn't that recent. It was probably a couple of years ago, but every time now I always assume the best instead of assuming the worst until I've gathered all the information I need to. Now that it may make me a little bit naive, but I think it also leaves me open to having better energy for what can come in. My cat may crawl across this screen. I just want to warn you now. There's
Nice.
a cat.
I love
There's a
that.
cat coming.
That's
I
awesome.
don't know how the cat got into my closet with me, but
It's
here she is.
interesting because like talking to people about finding the light, the love, the lessons, and everything that we do, whether it's a pandemic or a normal day. It's
Yeah.
clearing that unbelievable connection that I've seen to create the difference between motivation and inspiration. Those people, motivation is a temporary source that can be caused by fear and other things. If you watch sports like I love to do, you can see that motivation doesn't last, or else a team that has momentum or motivation would continue just to soar. In fact, the Atlanta Falcons would have won the Super Bowl years ago if motivation worked, because they were so far ahead at halftime, and then Tom Brady used his motivation and momentum to win the game. Inspiration's different when we find
Yeah.
those light, love, and lessons in everything. I have narrowed it down to a more common word of, look for the superpowers in people. And, when
Yeah.
I used to be, because I was an overseller, back end seller, manipulator, even a liar and a cheater at times, as a young salesperson, I would always look for that in other people and then be offended by it. I literally would be offended by, and I hated myself, so I would hate them. And
Right.
it's just all
As if it reflected on you when it doesn't, right? It reflects on the person who you're dealing with. It's really interesting because you do find that when you get offended, it's because it's either true, right? You're
right.
finding something that you don't like and it's being reflected in you, and you don't like it about them because you know it's slightly true about yourself.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh,
a,
or
the
more than
lesson,
slightly.
right? Okay, maybe, yeah, a little bit true. So it is, it's a lesson. And I think if we can just become more aware of those things in the moment, that's when you really learn. Looking for those moments, right, where you have those triggers and you think, oh, wait, why do I feel like this? And then realize, oh, because maybe I'm a little bit too much like that. And being comfortable with yourself and happy with how you are to others, I think allows you to open yourself up for success. Because if you don't feel good about who you are, then you won't let good things happen to you.
You're
I
right.
truly
And
believe that.
sometimes it's a little more than a little true, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't even like my father for every reason I didn't like myself, and it took me years. When you said one interesting word, and I'll let you go. You said in the moment, and I've been working really hard because I like to practice things. I like to practice humility, gratitude, forgiveness, accountability.
Yeah.
These are practices for me because it lets me understand that I'm on this journey and I'm not perfect. But I was looking at some of the things that I do better now, and some of them used to take me years, and then it took me months, and then it took me weeks, and then days, then hours, then minutes. And now certain things have created abundance in my life because it takes moments, right? It's
Yes.
where can you find it? And one of the goals of pursuing my potential is being able to have that awareness in the moment, and to do things now and be present and make decisions quickly based off of my values and knowing who I am. Is there one practice as we kind of finish up that you would suggest people doing during this time that they would get extraordinary results for their lives?
Wow, so many different options, right? And I think it's whatever suits you. I think being able to be still and do nothing, even just sitting, if you don't meditate as such, but sitting quietly with your eyes closed, taking deep breaths and really filling up your lungs and allowing yourself to breathe in and counting while you breathe in and then breathing out and just thinking about how you're feeling and then thinking about and questioning. I keep moving my phone
I
because
know. You're
my
hiding the
cat.
cat. Let's
Yeah,
see
well,
the cat. Let's see
she's
the cat.
jumping around. Hang
Free
on, where is
yourself.
she? Okay, wait. I don't. Okay, wait. Hang on, cat.
There you go.
Where is she? Wait, where is she? There she is.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, she's jumping up. I have this on a ledge, and of course she's jumping up on the ledge. So I
Nice.
had to, yeah. So anyway, the deep breathing, right, and the letting go, and just ensuring that you're breathing in and you're understanding how you feel in a particular moment, and then asking yourself, especially if you're feeling anxiety about a certain thing, is that thing true? And this is Byron Katie. I'm sure you know of her,
Yeah, of course.
right?
And the
Where
truth
you
vibrates the
question,
fastest.
yeah, and you question your thoughts. And so if you're worried about a particular thing, or you're thinking, well, I'm going to starve to death, or I'm never going to get another job, or I'm going to lose everything that I have. And then you just think, wait, is this true? And then who would you be without that thought? Or how would you act without that fear? And then trying to go into that different person who doesn't have that fear, which is Dr. Joe Dispenza was talking about the other day. He's so amazing. And
Yeah.
actually taking the vibration of the person who doesn't have that fear and being that person. It's actually easy. It sounds ridiculous to some people, but in fact, it's super easy to do. It's, again, practice like anything else, right? Deciding, hey, I'm actually not going to worry about this right now. I'm going to go do what I can do. Rudy Giuliani, when he was the mayor of New York, he's changed. When he was the
So
mayor of
I've
New
heard.
York, and it
So
was
I've heard.
September 11th, he talked about it, and he wrote a book about his prostate cancer and how he did every possible thing he could. He researched everything. He talked to all the doctors, and just by doing that, he wasn't afraid anymore. And I think it's about having action and trying to do everything that you can, because if you know that you're taking action and you're not shrinking from fear, then you will raise your vibration to a different level, and then you can go and be a different person, not the person that's afraid, not the person that's frozen or panicked. And it's not easy. It's a practice, but I think everybody can do it.
That's right. Practice voting for what you want. Marcia, you are a delight. I appreciate your time. I
What a
know that Flip
pleasure.
Flop is going to be a huge, huge success along with
Thank you.
the and please, everyone, follow Marcia and look up all the great products and support her companies if you are in the position right now to do so. But I know everyone will be when we all get through this. So thank
We
you
all
so
will
much.
be. Thank you so much for seeing me, and wish you all good health and
Thank you.
happiness.
Have a
Thanks.
beautiful weekend. Bless you.
You too. Bye.
Marcia Kilgore, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. I love when I get these special guests, but I also love, believe it or not, these questions, and they're loading up, so let's get right to them. I will be answering a lot today. I have a training on the road to revenue, learning to love what you do. We're going to get deep into the pragmatic ways to be happy and productive, make money, help people, have fun, even during this time. I've got that idea from Vishal Leoni from Mind Valley. Oh, thank you for the comments. I'm going to keep on running through this real quick. Answer the question you would love to get right now. Answer the question I'd love to get right now. For me, the question always is, what's the best lesson? And the best lesson for me right now is to take inventory. If you don't plan that inventory of whatever it is, I start with my values and then take inventory of things that I can get better to be the chief betterment officer. Take inventory. That's the best thing you can do. So that's the question. What's the best thing I can do right now? Take inventory. Take inventory, raise the awareness, pay attention to the resources, the capabilities that you have that are synergistic or supplementary to ways to expand and accelerate now. We can always plan as well how you can use those capabilities, synergistic and supplementary, to plan for the future and success there. But what are we going to do now? And the best thing we can do is take inventory and look for the opportunities by paying attention to it, giving intention to it, and the coincidences we want will occur. Attention plus intention equals coincidence. It says, what are some of your favorite books? Course in Miracles, Think and Grow Rich, Wayne Dyer, Power of Intention, Alter Ego Effect, Surrender Experiment, Atomic Habits, another great one. All great books. I got a list. I continually am listening to audiobooks and the best I can. Richard Jaffe and Charlie Jaffe also has a crisis book to look up as well. We feel like Garen Jones also change your mindset, change your life. We feel like when we do it, it's our circumstances, but when others do it, it's their character. It's because we're not taking inventory of our values. Everything's based off of the continuum of what you think, say, do, believe, and your personality traits, and your character, and your obsessions, and your addictions. All of those things, all that data goes into your DNA. Some of it's activated, some of it's not. Let's activate the DNA that we want. Let's activate the programs that we want. Let's activate what we want. Let's vote for what we want in our lives. It's that simple, but so hard to achieve. Get me? Simple, but hard to achieve. That's what I'm looking for. It's simple to understand, hard to achieve, because it takes practice, diligence. Here we go. How do I resonate light like you do? Practice, right? So the reason I can fill with light is because I'm practicing connecting to, clearing the connection to the most powerful source of energy, light, and love and lessons at all times, allowing it to come through me and appreciate it, add value to it, and then clear the connection to all of you and everyone else that I'm in touch with. Two different connections, and you can resonate light. I'm a candle, and I will not burn because I continually share my light, and my candle doesn't go down at all. Let's go live with someone else here. I love sharing back and forth. Remember, today, 11 a.m., text me, email me if you'd like to join me. I have a training for free, of course, not selling anything. So let's do that. And let me see here. 11 a.m., text me at 949-298-2905. If you want to go live, let me know. I'm trying to grab you right now. Everybody's jumping in and off. We'll try one more time there. Vicky, I'm sorry. I tried to get you. I'll try Jack here. Welcome, everyone. If you're just joining us, what a treat. End of the week in the middle of a miracle.
Jeez! David Meltzer, my man.
Hey, Jack.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm nervous for some reason. I didn't even think you'd accept this.
Oh, no, I try to be there for everyone, man. Well, now that I've accepted you, I'm looking forward to a good question.
Yeah, well, my question is that I know that there's a part of me that really wants to serve and give back to students and kids. But I thought to do that, I had to go and like prove myself in terms of like making a 6-figure business, which I did last year. And I was going to turn it this year into a 7-figure business, but I've had a lot of conflict in asking myself why I feel the need to do that and why I can't just start serving now. And like the thing that always resonates with you is you always tell me the truth vibrates at the highest frequency. And like the more that I've like heard you say that, the more I can feel that from other people and within myself. If that makes sense. I don't really know what my question is, but it's like
I got it. No, I got it. Believe it or not, I felt it. And so first, I love to tell people when you're in an either or situation, think about both, right? Everything is unified. Everything is one. So think about both. You know, how can I be of service today to all these kids and inspire them and create a 7-figure business, right?
Yeah.
So I can inspire more tomorrow. So number one, the abundance of both. And then two, you know, when I started realizing, and a lot of people feel guilty right now that are successful during this time. A lot of people feel guilty that have enough during this time. I'm here to tell you, don't. The more that you can have, as long as you appreciate it and give it away, the better it is for everyone. And what I started thinking about 7 and 8 figures and now 9 figures in my life is, what am I going to do with that to help people, right? What am I going to do with that? Not to buy things for me. I'm going to shop for the right things, because when I shop for the right things, it makes me happy. And I attach, you know, no emotions to the outcome, but I attach my emotions through me for others, and I witness others thriving. I witness, villages in Africa. I witness water and financial literacy. I witness a better
That's
environment in my mind's eye. And then I am so inspired, not motivated, right? Motivation can come from fear, it's separation, but I'm inspired. I'm cleared that connection. Someone asked, that light comes through me to invigorate and to light people like you, Jack, so that you can go light other people. I'm looking for 1,000 Jacks, to
I
empower
feel
collective
that. Yeah.
consciousness. So
You're
think
exactly
both.
like, you're
Go
exactly
ahead.
like what I manifest every day, and to be like is someone like you who has that light, shines it, and in the you shining, somehow that is returned to you through like abundance of money, love, and all those other things. So just so I'm clear, would you say that continue the hustle on the financial side as well as serving as well, and then you can have both?
Yeah, and try to combine them. Try to combine the hustle on the financial side with empowering people. So capture, modify, amplify, and perpetuate your success, and send it out to those kids in the format that they want, so that they can see your story and your journey, and you can inspire them while you're building that empire, while you're creating more opportunity and more room for what you want. I appreciate you joining me, man.
Thank you, David.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it, man. Keep
That's
being.
awesome. Thank you. Really, really good stuff today. 11 a.m. Pacific time, California time. I'm in Orange County, California. That's when we're doing our training today. It's free. Come text me at the number below, 949-298-2905. All those people, thank you for emailing me at david@dmeltzer.com, looking to help, mentorship, questions, whatever it is, joining the 11 a.m. Pacific time training, whatever it is. Can you share a screen with me? I'm trying. Try to get to everybody, and we're going to do our best. Who's going live at 5 Eastern time with you? The real deal. Was it Fortune International? I'd have to check. We'll go back. I think so. I'm going live. Could you post the last closet show in your highlights? I'd love to share it with my friends. All right, Team Meltzer, jump on that. Can we do that for him or her? Let's jump on that. Got a lot of good requests in here. I'm getting through these. Good. I serve marketing plans, social media, consultancy, and market research. Let's connect and collaborate. All right, email me at david@dmeltzer.com. Also, if you'd like to see what I'm up to, join my free training, 11 a.m. Pacific time, California time, today, Friday, April 10th, my brother's birthday. Happy birthday. And we'll all share in that, of course. So please join me, email me at Casey Adams. Hope you're great. Is he here? The Casey Adams, the youngest superstar that I know. Oh my goodness. Here we go. I love this kid. There he is. Come on, Casey, join me. Pate.
Dave, what's going on?
I love you, man. How are you?
I'm great. Look at this. I was just diving into Atomic Habits, and I finished my journaling session. Now we're here.
That's awesome.
How are you?
That is a great book, man. This is the best time to formulate habits. Well,
Absolutely.
we all have a little bit of time. I'm awesome, and I want to thank you for helping my niece Jacqueline so much. She adores you.
Absolutely.
And also inspiring so many young people to show them what we can do, not only during this time, but before, during, and after this time. You're my 19-year-old hero and mentor, and you've helped me so much. What have you learned, Casey, during this your first big crisis?
Yeah, I mean, I would say just it goes back to my family. Like my mom, it's impacted my mom and my dad a lot when it comes to, my mom works at a school. She's a special ed teacher, and she just has so much love for these kids. And it more so, I saw the way she reacted to, school's canceled this year and, her paycheck's cut in half and these things that truly impact her. And I think seeing that from a family perspective gives me just so much gratitude for what I've been able to build these last 3-4 years with my time freedom and how I'm able to continue to not only make money, but to utilize the resources that I've built into my life. But it's interesting, and I'm reading this book for everyone joining, Atomic Habits, and it's something that I've been just preaching this last week whenever I'm doing podcast interviews. And when I'm interviewing people, I'm asking these highly successful individuals, what habits are you building right now that that you weren't before during this crisis. And that's what I'm looking to do. For example, we got a gallon of water a day. I've been doing that for the last 3 weeks strong. And I would just say like fine tuning the habits that, maybe weren't moving me forward that I'm now aware of. But I'd like to ask you the same question and about your habits and what you're doing during this time that's moving you forward during a crisis like this.
For me, I'm practicing ending fear, right? I look at all the ego-based emotions that cause that interference to my own happiness. And as enlightened in practice that I thought I was from the 13 years from the last crisis when you were 6 years old, I've learned that I have a lot more practice to do. And it's really interesting because, Tiger Woods, to me, is one of the greatest, if not the greatest golfer of all time. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time. Kobe Bryant, the same thing. And when I look at them at the level that they reach, the close to their potential, and James Clear talked about this in my podcast I did with him. You got to check it out, the playbook. Yeah, he talked about this potential that we're all just on a journey of practicing, right? And that practice takes habits, and the more we can formulate. Now, one thing that I've been talking about that James taught me is vote for what you want is a habit. That's the ego-based practicing ending fear. Imagine, fear is always going to occur because I can't give people an egoectomy, but the closest thing I can give to an egoectomy is to create a practice of ending fear so that fear only lasts a moment, right? For some people, fear lasts a lifetime, some for years, some for months, some for weeks, some for days. I'm down to moments, right? And if it goes longer than a moment, it's minutes. And I'm disappointed in myself. If I'm an ego-based emotion in minutes, I'm actually talking to myself going, stop, 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 stop. You're going in the wrong direction, brother. So that book by James Clear, you are on the right. If I was 19 like you and even knew about how important habits were, I did it unconsciously, right? I worked really hard to be a football player or get good grades, and it was formulating. But to have a conscious practice of habits, I call it a habit machine, and you're incredible.
Totally.
It's amazing, man. Now, you are the king of branding and social media. You started your first podcast, before I even knew what a podcast was. You have partnered with my business partners and friends and have helped people make so much money, especially in the digital world. What should people be doing right now, Casey, to brand themselves?
Yeah, no, I love that question. And I would say it's continuously changing, right? The way I answered this question 6 months ago to now is different. So I would say there's two main things. This is what I'm telling people that ask me this question. This is where I'm spending my time, and that is on doubling down on my podcast and on TikTok. And with podcasting, I look at it like this. It's not that vehicle that's going to make you go viral, but it gains depth with your audience. And I believe my intent on social media is to build valuable connections, but to impact people in a deep way. And through my podcast, for example, during a time like this, during a crisis, everyone is at their house. I do a lot of interviews. I have 4 interviews today, 10, 11, 12, and 1 back to back. And you're able to utilize this time to collaborate and build connections. For example, doing this Instagram live stream, and I'm sure you've seen it. So many people are doing Instagram live streams. I did one with Ryan Serhant the other day. And if you're looking to build a brand, I would say look for these collaborative methods to grow. Because I like to say the thing that I've done is called association marketing, right? I've associated myself with these high-level entrepreneurs and CEOs by just having a podcast, and it's given me a voice in that world and in that market. And that's the number one thing, which is, collaboration and communication through podcasting. And number 2 is TikTok. And I say that because there's so much viral opportunity on TikTok where, you could be posting once a day on Instagram for a year, but you might not have any traction. With TikTok, though, you could post a video a day for 30 days, and you could have your 29th video get 100 views and your 30th video get 150,000 due to the algorithm. And it's one of those platforms that I've seen so much results with. For example, a company that you're a part of, Popple, I met with the guys, and their 4th video on TikTok got 70 million views. And it's not because it's the most amazing video. It's because the algorithm and how the platform works. There's so much opportunity there. So those would be my top 2.
I think Popples went so viral because that product's from China.
True.
I got to think, man. I think it's interesting too, because knowing different formats, I believe, you should spend as much time being as interested and interesting in each format for what it is. So, if
Yep.
you're doing podcasts, I agree with you, right? Brand association, marketing, business development, have built my brand because of my relationship capital and being able to build
Yep.
brands like yours by having you on and associating and introduce you into a traditional sense of, you've had Larry King, like the oldest guy on the internet. So,
Yep.
but those are important things that we can learn and take away. But TikTok's a whole different story, right? A different
Totally.
spectrum of people, a different way. Last question, then I'll let you go. I don't sell anything, but I monetize everything I do. And there's a difference, right? I'm not on stages selling Dave Meltzer, real estate trick tips and, all these different things. But I utilize my brand to help people by making money, helping people, and finding out how I can provide value.
Yep.
How do you find people can make money off of TikTok? Because I haven't been able to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's, just to be fully transparent, I look at TikTok right now as just a brand awareness platform that hasn't been tapped into its full potential. And for example, my buddy Michael Gruen, he has an agency called Talent X. He manages a lot of the biggest TikTok creators. And just from a monetization perspective, these 15, 16-year-old kids, and they're making $2,000 to $5,000 a post to do a dance to a song that a record label pays for them to dance to, and that's completely different from a business perspective. But I would say right now, if you have a product or a service, TikTok isn't the best place to maybe drive traffic, but the awareness to drive back to your Instagram where you're promoting your product or service, that's the key. Because if you have so much traction on TikTok and 10% of that goes to your Instagram where you're actually selling your product or service or talking about it, I would say that's the most laid out way to monetize so far. But I would look at it more so as a brand awareness platform where, back to my point of how to, build a brand, you always want to be ahead of the curve than behind, right? So just being on TikTok and testing, it may not be the biggest thing that turns into business opportunity, but if it does, you're early. And, I think that's a huge part of what you do as well. You're staying on top of the trends, So that's what I would say to that.
I got a brand below. Joey Storzinger wants to talk to you. I know they got Harlem whiskey. Damon John's involved. I think he wants to talk to you. He just pinged below. Anyway, my brother, you better keep in touch with me. You better go live with me more often. We got a young genius. The last time we had a crisis, he was 6 years old. So I want to learn to see what it's like from his eyes, his perspective. We want to share from oldest to youngest. Casey Adams, thanks so much, buddy.
I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
I love that kid. It's like I have all these different age groups of mentees, and Casey, obviously being 19, one of the younger ones. Jeff Fenster, we had on my LinkedIn Live last night, a mentee, mentor in his 30s, multimillionaire. Richard Jaffe and his daughter Charlie, we've had from one of the owners of the Phoenix Suns. It's Alicia Tillman from the global CMO of SAP. All of these people are here to be of service and to help, all different perspectives. And of course, Marcia today, thank you, Marcia Kilgore, started Bliss, now has Flip Flop, Beauty Bot. I mean, just ridiculous. Casey, thank you. Anyway, we're going to call it. I'm going to do one more question, and then we'll go to training today at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Text me below at 949-298-2905 or email me at david@dmeltzer.com. How do you stop fearing other people's judgment? All right, you got to vote for what you want, Dane. Look, you cannot fear other people's judgment. You cannot vote for other people's judgments. You cannot control other people. There's 4 things that you can control: your mindset, your feelings, what you say and hear, and what you do. Nothing else. Stop voting for what other people want. Stop voting for other people's judgments and conditions on what they put onto you. If you do, you're going to get what they want. All you're doing is creating corrosion interference. You are extracting the light from you instead of growing the light within you to give to others. Please, everyone, vote for what you want. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Join me 11 a.m. Pacific time today, 11 a.m. California, for free. Let's talk about road to revenue, learning to love what you do, and being happy. please join me. Text me below, 949-298-2905. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com, and we all can share in the light. Our candles will not burn if we light other people's candles. Have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you in about 2 hours and 15 minutes. 2 hours and 15 minutes at 11 a.m. Pacific time.